So, hello everyone and welcome to this new video idea sparked from Leprechaun Author's Insight, and we're gonna start it off with Leprechaun. So here's Leprechaun for you.
Hello.
First of all, let's get a basic idea of how you go about demodding, just with a few basic questions. What do you prefer to do first, script or map an entire area out?
I definitely map an entire area out. It's easier for me.
Yeah, well, I think that's what most people do. I've heard of them doing it as they go along, but you know, mapping an entire area out before scripting it seems to be the preferred choice. Yeah. What do you find gives you the most motivation in wanting to create a Dmod?
Definitely hearing other people working on their own Dmods or discussing my Dmod so I can, talk about it more later or something. Or
okay, yeah,
just discussing projects in general, I guess.
Yeah, so hearing other people's creative choices and stuff sort of makes you want to go out there and try stuff yourself, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so detail first or later? Do you map something out plainly and come back to it, or do you add the in-depth detail as you go?
I think it depends, but for the most part it comes later.
Yeah, so you can sort of just make it a whole separate thing and really pay more focus on the detail?
Yeah, I kind of save the detailing for the last thing I do.
Yeah, okay. And a little bit of a tricky question, but what do you think is the most important aspect in any Dmod?
Probably the story, just because, the maps it's very limited because there's not a whole lot of, sprites you can use. So pretty much in every Dmod there's similarities to another Dmod or whatever. But what sort of remains different and what you can, continue to make unique is definitely the story. And so that kind of carries this uniqueness throughout the years.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that. I think you can have a bad map and a good story and it could still be a good Dmod, and you can have a good map and a bad story and it's horrible Dmod, so I would fully agree with that, yeah. We're gonna go ahead now and Leprechaun's gonna show us how he would map out his screens in a forest situation. So let's go ahead and do that.
I guess I'm gonna build a forest because I kind of need some practice building forests that aren't super generic.
Yep. And
use the tiles, so
okay.
I'm just gonna mess around and place a bunch of trees.
Okay, so you've got the dark trees separated as a separate sprite.
Yeah.
Yep.
I pulled them from somewhere. I forget which, but they work really well because then you can sort of separate it and I guess sort of build a wall in a way that you can burn through.
Not a bad idea. I haven't actually. I think I may have seen them in what are they called? As Good as Eternity. Yeah, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be hard to actually just open up paint and cut one out of the forest.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what I pulled them from.
Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely not a bad idea to actually be more precise with the forest areas. Yeah,
I mean it puts a bigger limit on how much sprites you can actually place. Yeah, but I think it looks much nicer.
Yeah. So do you always sort of place the sprites first and then change the tiles after, or?
Oh, well, I guess I don't really see a need to have the tiles set at the moment if I'm just sort of messing around and placing sprites and building.
That's true. Yeah.
It just leaves it more open to let the forest take the borders.
Yeah.
In a way. Or at least that's what I'm going for here.
Yeah, be more focused on the actual area. Yeah. So is this your main choice in building forest, to use the single trees rather than the actual...
At the moment.
Yeah.
Well, I built it earlier with this.
Yep.
And I did, the tiles.
That looks quite good, yeah. Looks very... It looks like you can create a much more precise area.
It ended up very boxed though, which is kind of not what I wanted.
Yeah. Okay. In
I
a
mean,
way,
it's
it's
not-
good though, because it'll feel a bit mazy, which is sort of like what you feel when if you're really walking through a forest.
Well, I was definitely trying to build it like a maze,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's like the first area of the game you end up. So that's. I was hoping to just have it be a maze and
Yeah. So there's a random
yeah.
sneak peek of Leprechaun's Dmod.
which might not ever get released, but here's hoping.
Yeah. So if it doesn't get released, then you've seen something. Alright. Yeah, so, the detail-wise, you sort of just fill in all that later, or?
Yeah. Well, if I tend to build it like in a certain way. So if you have a large sprite with hardness, you then move on to, grass and stuff that isn't quite as hard, but
Yeah.
it sort of surrounds it and stuff and builds around it.
Yeah. Okay.
And you
Yeah.
might throw in like a flower or something, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got like a specific way of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I build a rock, I'd put some of this dirt under it,
Yeah.
set the queue or whatnot.
Okay, yeah.
Or, yeah. Same with like the bushes and stuff. Same deal. This is always,
Yeah.
set to certain things and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah. I tend to throw a depth queue of negative 500 on things. I just go a bit overboard when I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't really think I need negative 500.
Yeah,
but-
I mean you don't need that. That's just me going overboard, making sure. I'm gonna make sure this definitely never appears above Dink.
I think the pebbles are probably like my favorite sprite, just because they always
Okay.
look really nice and stuff.
Are they a default
with
sprite?
grass. Yeah.
Oh,
and
right, yeah.
With the beach and stuff.
I've never actually used that sprite before, so yeah, I might.
I use them all the time
Yeah.
with Malachi or Malachi.
Malachi,
I'm
yeah.
still pronouncing it Malachi.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in some of the other areas, and it was just like constant use. I had it in save sprites, and
Yeah.
especially on the beach. But in Disappointment Town, I used them like on those brownish tiles, or
Yeah.
to make it feel like a desert. And just
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
so that's kind of how I like build them. Build
Yeah.
screens.
No worries.
In that
So,
order.
and then later on you just come back and you just script everything out, everything that's needs to be scripted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's a little insight as to how Leprechaun's author mind works. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, we'll see you in the next author's insight.
All right.
Okay, see you then.